The other day when I was getting ready to do the garage and start cleaning it out and everything, the little boy and little girl that lives over here were out, and she leans over to her brother. I don't know what she was saying, but her little brother said, "No, he is not Santa." I guess I look like Santa. Hi, and welcome to Big Z's Garage. As you know, if you've been watching any of our teaser videos or introductory videos that we've done, Big Z's Garage is about projects that are done in, well, a garage or shop or even a barn. But in our case, it's a garage. And as you can see, we have got a garage full of stuff. There's no organization to it at all. So one of the very first projects that we're going to be doing on Big Z's Garage, before I even get to my motorcycle, is we're going to organize this garage. And just wanted to kind of give you some ideas of what we're going to do, what we have planned, show you some drawings that I've done up to illustrate where things are going to go. But before then, let's take a look at what we're going to do. So over in this half, if you notice on the floor, we've got this natural little seam, if you will. And on this half of the garage, where my motorcycle has vomited parts all over the place, on this half, and then I have what was my gym on the back half. And then over here, we've got a bunch of storage and garbage and stuff that we're too lazy to put away. And then over here, we have an organized, disorganized array of tools and camping gear and Christmas gear and tools that I don't even use over there in that corner. So what we're going to do is we're going to organize all of this. So Beatrice and I took some measurements of the garage to see exactly what kind of floor space we have to work with. And being a graphic designer, I of course had to draw it out using Illustrator. We have a width of 246 inches or 20 feet 6 inches. And for our friends in the metric system, that makes it about 624 centimeters or 6.2 meters by a depth of 234 inches or 19 feet 6 inches. And again, for our metric friends, 594 centimeters or 5.9 meters. That gives us this space to try and create a multi-use space. So what we've come up with is an area over here for storage. And then we've got this area, this main half, that we're going to create a shop out of. Then of course we have our lounge area and Beatrice's mini fridge. What are we going to put in these spaces? We've got our existing green shelving, and we're going to take all the stuff that was up in this area, and what we're keeping we're going to make room for and reassign areas in here. We're going to take all the tools that were in this area and put it over in the shop area. Then we're going to take some really cool theater chairs that I had gotten a hold of while we lived in Texas, and we're going to put them over here on the side for our guests to sit in. They're very comfortable, actually. They're old. They've got rips and tears and cuts and stuff in the seating and such, but you know what? They're really comfortable. And then, of course, Beatrice's mini fridge. We'll put that over in the corner. My wife and I found a chair on the side of the road a while back, and it was in good condition, but our cats are getting at it, so we brought it into the garage, and that's where I'll sit or a guest will sit and back and forth or whatever. But this will create our lounge area where we sit back with friends and talk about stuff, about their projects, about their garages or their shops, whatever you want to talk about. Then over in this area, we're going to create a bench. Now that bench, if you recall, there's a light switch right here, and there's also the one and only plug that's right about here. This bench is going to sit just below it. It's going to come up off the floor about 40 inches off the floor. For the front of this bench, we've got this view. We're going to have all these different little shelves, and eventually I may even incorporate kind of friction-based drawers that would come out of this with some Teflon tape top and bottom of the sliders, and they can just pull out. And we'll keep things like nuts and bolts and nails and things like that in there, small tools and things. And then underneath, we're going to have a space for our vacuum, maybe a small air compressor that can slide underneath here. It's about 8 feet. It's about 2 foot by 8 foot countertop or bench top. This side, we are going to have a roller chest. This is the one I want. Ta-da, right there. It's a 72 by 2 foot. All 6 of these wheels move or articulate. So you can slide this thing around 360. You can push it this way. You can pull it this way, this way, this way. It can articulate and get into corners. And I'm going to need it to be able to do that because we're going to have a 6 foot by 3 foot workbench, so a little deeper than the 2 foot workbench. And this one's going to look like this. Let's see, let's pull that one up. It's going to be simple. I'm not going to do any drawers in here because this is where I'm going to put parts and things that I'm working on for that particular project, just to store them out of the way when I'm not using them, or when I have finished doing whatever it is up here and I'm not going to put them on the bike yet or the car or whatever I'm working on. They'll sit down in here as a way to get out of the way but still be accessible. Everything I'm doing in this garage as far as the shop area is going to have casters. I just believe in having casters on everything, especially when you have such a small garage space. Primary reason, let's just take this as an example, this little part right here, that is going to be a workbench that's going to have like my grinding wheels, going to have my drill press, other types of tools, and they're going to have bases on them. So I pull them off of the shelving that I have them on, and I can lock them into place on top of this space, and I can wheel it out to the opening of the garage, so when I'm grinding, sparks and everything are going outside, not up against my wall or into what I'm working on. So I'm able to move that around if I need to. Miter saw or whatever, same thing. I can put it on there, I can move it out here, dust is blowing outside. That's what this little bench is for, and it'll be flush with the top of this, so when I don't have a major tool like that, a vise or anything like that, then it's just an extension of this surface here. Now sitting right across the top of all of this, and I'm just going to do this, illustrate this in a dotted lines here. You'll see these dotted lines. We're going to have a single shelf right across the top, and then underneath it, if you recall, on my ceiling already, I have these 2 LED lights that look like fluorescent lights, but they're just a plethora of LEDs inside the tube. I have 4 of those. So I'm either thinking about putting 1, 2, in here, and then 1, 2 in here, or just doing a 1, 1, and leaving these 2 up here. They come with a plug, so we can plug it in. And the cool thing about this, again, let's pull this one up. This, you can see here, it's got some switches and some plugs right here and a little cord. You can plug that bad boy in, and you've got an extension of for your tools and such. So over here, I plan on just running an extension cord down along, and it will feed this power. And then I'm also going to have a power board going across the back of this bench, and then also along here too. Now, the part that I think is really cool, I have no idea as of yet. I've been researching this element for the shop. Obviously, I'm a big guy, and it is very difficult to get up underneath a motorcycle when you're big like me. draining the oils and oil and stuff like that, and the fluids, and just getting in there. So I'm researching and looking for a good motorcycle table lift. This is the measurement, the footprint of one that I found on Amazon that I'm looking at possibly getting. So that will go right there. And then, of course, the part that I promised my wife will have a place for her car. Right there. It can go, and then when we're not using it, it can go out or it can come back in. And yes, we do park our car facing out. It just makes it nicer for leaving the house, especially when you're in a hurry. You're not having to back up and look for kids. So anyway, that is the plan. Now, let's take a look at how well I am moving towards this plan. And then this area is the shop area. And you're probably looking at this big red thing right here going, what is that red thing on the wall? This red thing on the wall, this is a gift from one of my good friends, Blake Davis at Davis Signs and Graphics. I was a designer with them for a while, and he donated some leftover pieces of what's called ACM panel. It's basically 2 thin sheets of aluminum with a composite kind of plastic material in between. So it's very, very light, but it has the durability of aluminum. And right now what you see on it is just the protective cover over it. And we'll take that down. And in this roll, he took the logo that I designed for this season and printed it on here with some really cool things that I want to share with you after I get it back up. So I've got my tool belt, I got my wrap supply, my supplies for putting things up, and let's get to it. one, Big Z's Garage. So what we're going to do is you'll notice that there's a space around the logo, and I want to open it up to you, my viewers, to send in stickers from wherever you're from. Keep it clean, because my co-host is 12 years old, but and we want to make this a family show. But send us some stickers, and we'll decorate this whole thing and this whole area right through here with stickers from all our viewers. That way you can kind of say, hey, I did that. And every time we get a sticker, we'll give you a shout out as we put the sticker on the sticker board. But starting to look a little bit like a Big Z's Garage. So there you have it. The end of our first episode. We still got a lot to do in our first project, and that's organizing this garage into the space that we want it to be. We did get our logo board up there, and also remember, we put stickers on this. So if you send us your stickers, we'll put them up there and we'll give you a shout out while we're doing it. And if you include a address on your envelope that you send your sticker in, we will actually send you one of our stickers so that you have that as a gift from us for putting it on our board. You can find that address below in the description of where to send it to. Until then, I'm going to do some more organizing and start getting some parts, some wood and stuff like that for the benches that we're going to be building in here. And hopefully you'll see a whole lot more progress in our next episode. Until then, subscribe, like, and share. Thank you.